Have you ever wondered where the first civilization on Earth emerged? Let's travel back, way back, to a time when the world as we know it was but a whisper of its future self. The setting for our journey is a place known as Mesopotamia, an ancient region located in the eastern Mediterranean. It's a name that may ring a bell for some, and for good reason. Mesopotamia, a Greek term meaning between the rivers, is often referred to as the cradle of civilization. But why does this seemingly nondescript region hold such a significant title? The answer lies in its fertile land and favorable geographic position. Bounded by the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, Mesopotamia's rich alluvial soil provided the perfect conditions for agriculture. The rivers not only nourished the land but also served as a means of transport, connecting various settlements and facilitating trade. This fertile land and strategic location didn't just cultivate crops. They also nurtured the growth of one of the world's first civilizations. From around the 5th millennium BC, people began to settle in this bountiful region, slowly transitioning from a nomadic lifestyle to one of permanent settlements. These early inhabitants harnessed the power of the rivers through irrigation, transforming the arid landscape into an abundant oasis. And so the stage was set for the dawn of civilization. Communities grew, societies formed, and the first inklings of what we now recognize as cities began to take shape. Here in this fertile crescent, the wheel of progress began to turn, setting in motion a series of events that would forever change the course of human history. Mesopotamia, this land between the rivers, was not just a birthplace for civilization, it was a crucible for human ingenuity, a testing ground for societal structures, and a canvas onto which the first chapters of our collective story were etched. And thus, nestled between the Tigris and Euphrates, the foundations of modern society were laid. Imagine living in a city that predates known history. What would it look like? This isn't a journey to a distant planet or a dive into the depths of the ocean. We're traveling back in time to the cradle of civilization, ancient Mesopotamia, where the first cities like Uruk, Ur, and Babylon sprang to life. Pioneering the concept of urban living, these cities were a world apart from the nomadic lifestyle of the past. Envision vast settlements bustling with life and activity, where the hum of conversation, the clatter of tools, and the aroma of cooking fires permeated the air. And at the heart of these cities, towering above the flat-roofed houses, stood the ziggurats, magnificent step pyramids that reached for the heavens. Ziggurats, like the great ziggurat of Ur, were not just architectural masterpieces, they were symbols of power and divinity, serving as the abode of the city's patron deity. Imagine the awe it must have inspired in the city's inhabitants, a constant reminder of the divine presence that watched over them. But these cities were more than just a collection of buildings. They were carefully planned, with streets laid out in a grid pattern, sanitation systems, and even zoning laws. This wasn't a haphazard growth of settlements. This was the dawn of urban planning, an idea so revolutionary it's still in use today. The ancient city of Babylon was a testament to this urban planning. Known for the Hanging Gardens, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, Babylon was a city that amazed all who visited. It was a city of grandeur, where beauty and functionality were intertwined, setting a standard for future urban settlements. These cities were not just places of residence, they were hubs of culture, commerce, and governance. They were the beating heart of civilization, where humanity first began to record history, create laws, and build societies. And so, these ancient cities of Mesopotamia, through their architectural marvels and careful planning, set the blueprint for urban settlements in the future. They were the first cities, but certainly not the last, leaving a legacy that continues to shape our world today. Ever thought about the origins of writing or the wheel? Well, it all started here. The cradle of civilization, Mesopotamia, was a hotbed of innovation, birthing inventions that have shaped our world. One such marvel was the wheel, a creation that revolutionized transport and machinery. Its inception can be traced back to around 4000 BC in Mesopotamia. This simple yet ingenious invention set the stage for countless advancements in technology, from the humble potter's wheel to the roaring engines of our modern vehicles. But the brilliance of Mesopotamian ingenuity didn't stop at the wheel. The region was also the birthplace of writing. Picture this: in the bustling city of Uruk around 3200 BC, scribes began to etch symbols onto clay tablets. These symbols, known as cuneiform script, started off as pictographs and evolved into a system of wedge-shaped marks. Over time, these marks turned into an intricate written language, allowing humans to record history, laws, and literature for the very first time. Yet the genius of Mesopotamia didn't end with tangible inventions. The civilization also pioneered abstract concepts that have become woven into the fabric of our daily lives. Take, for instance, the concept of the 60-minute hour. Yes, even our modern timekeeping owes its origins to the ancient Mesopotamians. They devised a number system based on the count of 60, which was likely inspired by the 360 days in their lunar calendar. This system was later adopted by the Greeks, and eventually it became the standard for measuring time worldwide. From the wheel that drives our economy to the script that records our history, and the concept of time that structures our days, the legacy of Mesopotamian innovation is all around us. It's in every letter we write, every minute we count, and every mile we travel. Innovation was the heartbeat of Mesopotamia, pulsing with each new invention that shaped the world as we know it. So how does a civilization that existed thousands of years ago still impact us today? The profound legacy of Mesopotamia is embedded in the very fabric of our modern society, leaving an indelible mark on various aspects of our daily lives. Let's take a moment to appreciate the magnitude of this influence. Firstly, the realm of law. Mesopotamia gave us one of the earliest known law codes, the Code of Hammurabi. This comprehensive legal system etched in stone was a cornerstone for justice in that era, setting precedents for fair trials, property rights, and even consumer protections. Today, our legal systems worldwide echo these ancient principles, upholding the same values of justice and fairness. Next, literature. The Mesopotamians were not only pioneers of law, but also of the written word. They developed cuneiform, one of the world's earliest writing systems. This led to the creation of the Epic of Gilgamesh, often considered the first great work of literature. This epic poem, filled with themes of heroism, friendship, and the quest for immortality, has influenced countless works of literature ever since. So every time we pick up a book, we're connecting with this rich literary tradition. Finally, religion. Mesopotamia was a cradle of religious thought. With its pantheon of gods and intricate mythology, the concept of an afterlife, divine judgment, and the dichotomy of good and evil. All these ideas took root in this ancient land. Our modern religions, with their moral codes and spiritual beliefs, can trace their lineage back to these early religious concepts. In essence, the legacy of Mesopotamia is all around us. It's in our courts of law, our libraries, our places of worship. It's in the foundations of our cities, in the ethics that govern our conduct, and in the stories we tell. This ancient civilization, though long gone, continues to shape our world in ways we often take for granted. In every law we follow, every word we write, every city we build, we carry a piece of ancient Mesopotamia with us. All great things must come to an end, and so did ancient Mesopotamia. The fall of this early civilization was a culmination of various factors, a tale as complex as its illustrious history. Internal conflict and political instability played a significant role in its decline. The constant power struggles weakened the city-states, making them vulnerable to external invasions. Moreover, environmental issues such as soil erosion and salinization, coupled with overuse of agricultural land, led to a decline in food production, creating a ripple effect on the economy and the populace. But perhaps the final nail in the coffin was the rise of the mighty Persian Empire. Mesopotamia was absorbed into this vast empire, marking the end of its independent existence. While the civilization may have fallen, its legacy continues to thrive in the world we live in today. The story of Mesopotamia serves as a potent reminder of the rise and fall of civilizations and the enduring impact they can have on the course of human history.